Module 3, the discussion turns toward predicting problem behavior. As a simple rule, what can be predicted can be prevented, and that's the purpose of actions undertaken in this step.
You could predict a misbehavior, you could plan for it. That's the best thing, answer I can probably give you right now, is the planning process of how, okay, I know this XYZ might happen, but this is what I'm gonna do to front load that beneath the line type of work.
When I think of predicting behaviors, I think that is in your procedures and your classroom expectations. Not necessarily looking at a specific behavior that I'm trying to intervene with, but these are my expectations. These are the procedures when you're in the classroom, when you're in the hallway, and my expectations. And in addition to that, it is the relationship building. You have your clear expectations, but you also have the relationship that you're building with your students. And so therefore you can interact with them in a more positive way, which is predicting, hopefully, behaviors before they happen.
I do cafeteria duty, and when I see a student walking in with the face and the fist, you know, I pull him over immediately, just have a chat with him, because I know he's not mad at me, because I just saw him for the first time, and try to give them a voice to let it out, and then also just talk about food a lot, because they're hungry, and, you know, so try to distract them from what actually they're mad about, but reading the nonverbals that they're giving off, because kids definitely do that a lot.
One of the simplest strategies used to predict problem behavior is known as the hotspot activity. This involves getting a map of the school and asking faculty and staff to identify the areas that are predictive of specific problems. Before we look at an example, here are some important rules for running this activity successfully. First, make sure that the map you use includes all of the areas of the school where students can go. It may be necessary to add a second map area to cover playgrounds or other outer areas. Second, prompt people only to consider problem behaviors that they themselves actually encounter most often, not what they've heard about or suspect. And finally, have people consider both behavior and time of day, and have them write these on a sticker before you ask them to post to the map.
Ours on a faculty meeting. We put up a whole map, and then wherever you had an incident, you would put a star, a circle there, and then maybe the playground, and maybe the hallway, the bathroom. So we did it a little different than at Klondike.
So the map is really beneficial because that's how we intentionally planned out how we were going to roll out our behavior plans. Ours was the cafeteria. That's where we were having most of our incidents. So we're gonna send out this lesson plan for the cafeteria. We're gonna have everybody do the cafeteria, and that's how we rolled each one out, was based on that data. We got together collectively and looked at all the data, and we did it in a careful way. We didn't say, well, this behavior is happening with this teacher. We were very careful not to point fingers, but try to do it as, well, this is how we're gonna solve these issues together.
So the process in my school, we really looked at the old behavioral plan, and it consists of the administration team looking over it and kind of looking at the data to see where things are going, what was going on at the time. And as we put it together, look at what's going on now, look what happened then, and looking at the behavioral plan that came up collectively along with the teachers' input of where to go from now.
One thing we did this year that was really helpful, because we saw that we were teaching the students in these really isolated times, but that was it. And so this year, all of the teachers were asked to beyond their I can statements and the goals for their class, we added a hero goal. And we cycled through each letter. We might have a broad one, and myself and the assistant principal would collaboratively come up with the goal for the week. And so teachers were asked to go over that, how it looked for their class. And then at the end of the class, students were supposed to reflect on their progress over that goal.
One of the things that we've done as a school, our teachers have traditionally had a lot of autonomy in their classrooms, and so it would not have been very smart of us in our school culture to dictate to teachers how to teach, the expectations, or when to teach them. But what we've tried to do is create time and opportunities where they could collaborate with each other to come up with the best ways to teach those expectations to their students. We have students in multiple grade levels, K through 12, so it's going to look different at each grade level, and we gave them a lot of time and space to do that. As a school administrator at the school, the administrators send out reminders at different times, and hey, there's a break. When you come back from the break, this is a great time to review and reteach those expectations, talk about it again. And they hear it every day already on the announcements. They know what the expectations are. Now we just talk about what it looks like in our classroom or in our common areas. So we give them reminders to do that, because as adults, we need to be reminded sometimes to do that as well.
Note that the predictions made as a part of the hotspot activity is useful only as information leading to the development for plans for prevention. Before moving to the next module on prevention, here are some things to consider. First, consider when you might arrange to have a hotspot activity at your school. Second, what areas would you need to include with your maps, and how will you get these maps?